Alrighty then. So, I think we should just continue from where we left off if you want to load that save. Yeah. So, I'm David, the programmer and game designer.
I'm Natalie, the story writer and artist.
I'm Laura. I am the background artist. And
So today we're going to play through beginning of the game, minus a little bit we did on Monday in our test stream. So right now, those who missed the first stream, we met our old friend. Our old friend died very quickly, and now we're rushing off to Renar City to try to get help as fast as we can. And one thing I wanted to talk about that's interesting is this is actually very different from what the beginning of the game originally was. Originally, you start in Renar City. Via is just like go to Stardander and you go, and it starts really quickly. And people were like not very excited about it. They didn't feel like there were any stakes. We kind of had this whole beginning part, added a whole character who dies very quickly, so it's kind of silly. I mean, you can't say that's a spoiler because it's literally the first like 10 minutes of the game. And so all of this here was something we added new, just to kind of show off. And it may require new backgrounds too, so I think it came out much better. Like, and when you finally get to Stardander, you like have a real goal. You have to like, help your family, help the exiles.
Yeah, you know what the stakes are, and you get to see kind of some of the world building right up close and personal, rather than just kind of being a lore dump, which nobody likes. So.
You immediately see how dangerous it is outside the territories. I mean, one person was commenting that you still are kind of thrown in there without much like information about like the lore dump. So we definitely want to kind of ease you into it. Here's that Renar City background.
Yeah, this background for some reason took me way longer than it should have. I was just so invested in making it look really, I guess, elevated. So yeah, that took me quite a while.
But it was worth it. Like, it looks very ethereal and very appropriate for Ria's like very ostentatious kind of like, no, I'm the queen of all type vibe. And Ria is this side here. You can see a tiny bit of her face, but she's a fox spirit.
You're gonna see more in a second once you raise your head.
Yeah.
She's cut off because you're looking down. It's not. That's intentional. You don't have to mess with the game frame.
Yeah. There she is. She is.
I'm loving this. I love the final design of just like the jewelry and the like how the face looks. It's so cool.
Well, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I redid her design not too long ago. It's like it doesn't look impressive enough, so I added the crown and chain. Chain is actually like a lore thing that signifies the protectors, which is a group of who, as their name suggests, protect humans in this world.
The chain is also because they're bound. They can't really leave their territories. But they're protecting their territories, but they're kind of stuck there at the same time. So it's kind of like
it's a sacrifice.
It's a symbol of honor, but also a symbol of their sacrifice. And very stuck up about it.
Yeah, she's like very like.
She's the leader of the protectors.
You'll see there's a big contrast in minutes when we get to Stardander. You see the contrast between this protector and little cat protector, who is very different and who does not have a chain, very intentionally. do anything. What, Laura?
No, I was gonna say, like, I guess should we do like a really quick like explanation of what the game actually is too, for anyone who just kind of jumped in.
Good idea. So, the game is like a mix between visual novel and RPG. There's a battle system, you gain allies, there's lots of spells you can learn and stat building. So you'll see a bunch of both of that. So right here you're seeing mostly like visual novel elements, characters talking, you'll see a choice in a few seconds. And every choice will like improve your like personality stats. See which choice Chase chooses when he gets there. At the bottom left corner, you can see right now we have 428 power and 8 happiness of 30. So she doesn't start very happy. It's been a rough month, year, 2 years I guess for her.
A rough 7 years.
Yes. Her father was in with a crew of people who all got banished for standing up against Rhea. And while Callie wasn't banished, and her family wasn't banished, lost like their prestige, and Rhea's very suspicious of them, so they lost their status. And Rhea's always like, guys, so now here's the choice.
Do you accept this mystery task? Do you need more information?
You need more information so you get +2 intelligence.
What would I have to do?
I'm still not going to give you
It's just
any details. Like, you don't have time to ask about this. If you want to save it, you are. Save everyone in the settlement who survived, including your father. This piece was originally going to be like the Twilight, the like night patrol, like kids getting up to mischievous things. No good, and I made you redo it, remember, because I thought it wasn't like playful enough. There was a new like night patrol mischievous track. This one I thought was really nice, so we kept it, and I feel like it's like kind of like the sad reflective moments track I use it for mostly. Right now she's kind of like, deed is done, she's agreed to the deal, she saved her father, and she's now having to come to grips with that reality. That's all you get to hear about Devin's death. You can see it. You don't see the corpse, he might come back, right?
Yeah, that's it. Listen, if you don't see the body, then they aren't actually dead.
I do actually have a plan, Devin, but it might not be what people are thinking.
Wait, what? I didn't hear about this.
Devin was the big bad evil guy all along. Got it.
When they're dead, they're dead. No bringing people back to life.
Well, you do have a character who sees ghosts. I'll just say that much.
Okay.
Now finally you're going to enroll at Stardander, which is the main course of the game, where you get to learn spells, do all sorts of things. Callie wants nothing to do with it, which is kind of funny. I'm sure like everyone playing this game is gonna be like, I want to go to witch school, I want to like learn all the spells, I want to do this. And Callie's just like, I don't want to do this.
You get to talk to a magical cat. Come on, that's the best thing to know. That's the best thing out of it.
Warms up to it, but at first he doesn't want to go. Derek Strands is actually an anagram for Stardander, for those who like that kind of thing. And Stardander, like Dander, like Cat Dander, that was totally intentional. It's an unusual name.
I'll just admire this for a while. Callie's the witch training. I
don't think we're gonna get many comments in the chat room, so I think just go with the choice that you feel best, since you're kind of driving the game here.
Laura, you can choose.
Oh no! Don't make me choose. I'm bad at decisions. Good. That's fine.
Chase is all ready to go. Gets the castle.
Yeah, you get to see all the cool stuff then.
Yeah, I already think there's a lot of like, lore. I think we did it well, but there's a lot of lore dumps. I was very surprised when they wanted more. Like,
yeah, the main mystery is like, I was there for 7 years. The school's been closed. What was she doing? Now it's like, what's going on here?
Do you think I'll add a little bit of like the world that Callie would understand and know just naturally living there into the encyclopedia? I'm not there yet, but I think that's a good idea for those who need to just know everything right away. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that you slowly get to learn information. I already feel like you get a lot all at once. Now we're off to Starlander. You ready for your first real battle, Chase? Chase is like, I fought a scorpion drake. I can handle this.
You can handle anything.
I'm not to his own music.
Songs get so stuck in my head. I'm not even upset about it. Like, I'm fine with it.
And so the cities are literally like a spherical territory that's protected by like Rhea and Renar. If you leave that bubble, that protection, you can be attacked by like wild fae. So the majority of people, like Callie, just kind of stay inside these tiny spaces their entire lives without ever leaving. Hilda is part of like more of a traveling people who trade and go to places and have like magic to defend themselves because they don't have the protection of the territory. It's very dangerous.
I need to be a farmer.
Well, there is farming inside the city territory, so it's not like if all the farming was outside the territories, like people would probably just starve. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Here's the map.
We pronounce it Rhea. I wouldn't say Rhea is wrong.
We don't have like a pronunciation guide.
I think I'm just used used to.
How did you pronounce Renar City?
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I like that you pronounce them both the same. Ria, Nar, Rea, Renar. So you kind of have the same Re syllable in both. I think is most important.
It goes together.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, when I first read it, I thought it was Renoir. So I was going on that for about 3 months.
Artist.
Listen, I don't. My reading skills need some work sometimes. Is all I'm gonna say. Oh, thank you.
So all children say, right? Please, Mom, let me banish them. Let me fight. Odile the mom or Hilda?
Could you go Odile like a crocodile?
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that any name can be pronounced any way people like. Not like it has to be this way. It's fine. I mean, like whenever I'm reading someone else's story, I always like have a word in my head that's completely different when I hear like the official pronunciation. So it's just.
Callie's like, wait a minute. We're actually
You're gonna be dragged into a fight whether you want it or not.
fighting these things. I was like, dear.
We did have to tone it down a little, and we added some things to like make her feel more of a likable character. But like, it is kind of her personality in the beginning. It's like you want to start like kind of low so you can build up.
Get out of here.
You need something to create an upward movement with the character.
I mean, there was actually a time when we didn't have the battle systems. We weren't sure about the battle systems. I mean, this game went through so many like changes. The world has always been the same, but we had so many ideas of like how to bring that world to life. When I came up with this battle system idea, I was very excited about it. It's a little like a turn-based battle system you might play in like a normal RPG, but because of the way you can change up the order each witch does spells, and witches can cast multiple spells per turn, and you get to know what the enemies are about to attack before they do it. There's a lot of strategies and depth behind it, which I really like. It's kind of inspired by It's the Breach, if you've heard of that. The same people who did FTL. I like FTL too, and just like I really liked how you got that moment to kind of strategize around what the enemy was about to do before they did it. That's definitely in game. Right now, what you're hearing the enemies are water, you're hearing kind of like the more watery tracks. And when you fight like air enemies, you'll hear air tracks. But since we don't want it to be water themed the whole time, let's say you cast a fire spell or something like that, it'll add in some of the fire tracks based on what spells you use. And as the battle progresses, like as witches get harmed or as enemies die, you'll hear the song progress to different parts of it. So it's very dynamic.
As you're hearing, systems, the magic system is element based. Might be a good place to talk a little about like the spells since we're showing off the magic system right now.
Okay, so the spells are broken into 4 elements. So fire is basically your offensive magic, combat magic, and it's broken into 2 types: your projection, which is attack, and protection, which is defense. And all the things attacking and defending are fire. Then water is more of like your support-based role. So it's broken into 2 elements. One is kind of like your crafting, enchanting, potions. That whole branch is called transmutation. So you can kind of do create things that help all of your witches over time. And the other is branch is your more support magic, like healing, drawing mana, that kind of thing. And earth magic, which is connection, lets you talk to the Fae, hack the Fae, make them your familiars so they can fight for you. So if you aren't using fire combat magic, the other thing you might want is earth magic to kind of turn those enemies into allies. And then finally, the air magic is kind of like control, battle control. You can kind of control who the enemies are going to attack. Right now, they're both attacking one witch. So air is just kind of like controlling the flow of the battle, and when you can control the flow, you can kind of turn disadvantaged situations into advantageous ones. So I think so actually if you go to the encyclopedia, you can see all the spells. There are 8 classes, each class has 4 spells. Open the encyclopedia again, and just go to the scroll.
Yeah, there's some more tabs there.
I don't want to use burst, it's too weak for her. Well, if you strike here, you'll... take a hit. When you strike, if you notice, you can see how much damage it's going to do, and it was telling you that if you even if the strike had hit, it would only broke the barrier. Oh, nice.
Woo!
She discovered a new power she didn't know she had. Bravery.
Yeah.
Like when you defeated the Armapods, it went to the more intense section. And similarly, if a witch is defeated, it goes to that more intense section.
So I guess I have a question. Considering with the whole magic system, what would you say would be the most challenging part of you implementing it? Either like design-wise, programming-wise, like what kind of thing you found the most hard?
For me, definitely designing-wise is more difficult, but I guess I don't have any trouble with programming. It's very easy to program. But the other thing I struggle with is the UI, how to make it very easy. Like a lot of people have complained the battle system is a little clunky. Like you have to click cast spell, choose the spell, choose the target, and potentially options on the spell, hit cast spell. So I get that, and I've actually started working on a few ideas to make it a little more smooth, streamlined. I guess also the tutorial aspect, how to teach the player. In the previous stream, there was the Scorpion Drake battle where all you could do, there was no way to fail, was cast a spell burst, which is kind of like my tutorial. This is how you actually cast a spell. And this battle was relatively easy. I think most people will win. It's supposed to like teach you how barriers work, how and when to strike, that kind of thing. But still, people feel like they're gonna talk or investigate. That's okay. And that's your monthly summary there.
At the end of each month, you'll see how your stats change.
But who can spot the cat? I can't. Very surprising.
Again, this was one of my favorite backgrounds to work on, just because there was all the little nooks and crannies to add extra stuff to.
I love where you went with this one. I adore all of the details, and I love how you added little like Easter eggs and like the mouse on the top shelf, and like just all the knickknacks. And I like the like telescope, everything. So.
Well, I think it's cooler at night. You get like the firelight flickering on the teapot.
Yeah.
You'll see that later, but.
I mean, I will say every time I have to draw books like this, I always try and add in like the fun titles. So I do have Necromancy on this one too.
Oh, you can't even see the title.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think you'll be able to actually read it, but I know it's there, and that's what I need to know.
That makes my heart happy too.
Recommended as in take Callie or I shut you down, but
I just got strong-armed into it.
Yeah.
to the face. Don't worry about just the angry looking fox appearing in your office.
Yeah.
The whole game kind of goes through a process of story, visual novel elements, battles thrown in there, and then at the end of each month there's an investigation. That first investigation was very short. There were only 2 things you could do and Chase skipped both of them. But most investigations you can explore the castle, like study, talk to friends, gain allies, and so you get kind of this story, stat building, battle, investigation, story, stat building, battle, investigation. Then at the end of each year, the investigations help you with usually some major event, like in this year is a trial, where you have to defend yourself ace attorney style.
Mystery. Schedule. Oh no.
Funny you should say that, because most people are like they're done with school, but Natalie was always sad that she couldn't go back and was thinking about going back, but it became too difficult and expensive. This isn't just any school. This is a school where you learn magic.
Chase just doesn't want the anxiety.
But at the same time, I would definitely go to Stardander. Those exams are like the least of these kids' concern, to be honest.
All humanity might be wiped out by an evil fae, but you know, classes and exams.
Priorities, that's all.
Now, you can choose spells outside your group, but it does give you a boost. If you remember what I talked about, what each element does, you can kind of have a better idea of which one to go for.
I wonder if anyone watching wants to chime in at this point. be a good time to do it.
One guy said yo, but
Oh, it's Eva Laugh. Hi, Eva Laugh. How are you?
for Callie, she starts with mostly intelligence, so water is an obvious choice. But I often do earth. Water, earth work well together. And fire is also a good choice for just combat potential. Even though she has low bravery, you can build that up if you really want. Air is a little more shaky early game. It becomes more valuable later game, but he says I'm good. He doesn't want to choose. Nobody wants to choose. Who wants choices? In the game it's all about choices.
Their instincts, folks.
What color do you like best? You can't really go wrong, and you can kind of like dabble in all of the elements, no matter what group you choose to join. So. Oh, we got a response. Earth.
Earth, we're going Earth.
Wow.
I often choose Earth. It's a good combo.
It's good.
Earth, water. She's not talking about anything. That's Callie. It takes time for her to like lighten up, and she does grow on you. But at the beginning, you're just like face palming at her. You can't switch to Hilda, although she does become an ally, and you can use her in battle. And later, and every year has a different perspective. So, like next year is Mira, and the year after that is Freya. So every year you're gonna have. It does come back to Callie, but you do get to see the game from different perspectives. And it'll be interesting because as like Mira and Freya, you can have Callie as an ally. So everything you're doing now isn't wasted. Those spells and abilities will be useful as her being an ally in the next year. So all builds up.
And so, like, the next year when you have a different perspective, it's not just you're starting from zero. So.
Right. Exactly.
Well, like, one of the things you can do is you can strategize to try to, like, tell your ally what to study. In that case, like, you can actually choose what spells Freya should focus on. Then when you have your Freya year, she'll have already chosen those spells that you told her to focus on. I feel like strategy games guides are a lot less popular than they used to be. Like when we were growing up, it was expected when you played the game, you'd have the strategy guide and then you'd use it to play. And nowadays, if people like don't understand, they may or may not look it up online or just give up. And if they look it up online, don't find the answers immediately, they give up. Like I feel like people.
I don't know. I mean. No, see, to me, I desperately use them in many different games. I have it open constantly during Kingdom Hearts and Stardew Valley. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty useful. I think the more strategy, the more likely you are to get a strategy game or guide. It's just like if it's an action game, like I'm not expecting a strategy guide for God of War, like Call of Duty. Wow, my brain today.
COD. Oh, COD. And it's definitely cool to like see all like often they put artwork in there or like little things, but I feel like your average player, if they get stuck, they just get frustrated. They don't bother buying a guide or even looking at it deeply. Yeah.
Above average.
I mean, it's definitely like a challenge for me because I want the game to be accessible. Like, you don't necessarily need a guide. Like, at the other hand, it's very tough to like teach everything, especially since people have like very short attention spans. Like, you can't just like explain everything. Do every month have like a tip show up in the monthly review, but like
It used to be like in the game,
Yeah.
integrated to what you're playing.
Yeah.
the light on the ceiling, that's the transport tracks. That lets you like move things. Like, that's how you get your luggage up to your room. Magical air belts of light.
Stardander magic.
This we actually put a few different things in here, like the paintings too. Like, it was a little edited from Laura's original background because we wanted to have some of the things that you investigate or things about the.
And here's your first time exploring the castle. Yeah.
You can click to room to go there, or use the arrow keys or WAS to move. So if you clicked Dare's office, you go to Dare's office. Yeah, there you go. You don't really have to move later. You have more chances to move around.
Oh, that.
I like. And before she gets a roommate, I really like the left side of the room. I'm sad that it gets taken over by another bed. Like, you get like the little thing under the blanket and
Yes.
cauldron.
Honestly, it was a lot of. Part of it was me looking up just like Pinterest stuff for like the witchy sort of vibe, but I was also thinking of like, okay, what would be in an actual dorm? What would you want to have? And trying to find little places that I could add characters and little like nods. So if you see in the trunk, there's actually another character. Because there's like I try to do like the cats on the posters behind the bed. What got me, and it was a lot of just going in and seeing a bunch of like old, I guess like Hocus Pocus and all the old Disney movies that were all like Halloween themed. So, and seeing all like the set design for that really got me like going of like, what else can we add here? Not to make it like overflowing, but to give it some personality. Because this is where you live, so it has to show something. But I do like it at night because the spell circle at the top of the room can actually glow.
You get to see the fairy lights better.
Yeah, the backgrounds are amazing. Hopefully we have lots of nighttime scenes.
No, the nighttime ones are probably my favorite to do, just because they have a lot of like the mood changes so nicely, and everything just looks so much cooler with like that one point of light coming in.
Hilda got shocked. She jumped up and down and had a sound effect. She's all upset that you got a single room and she didn't.
That was shocking.
Don't laugh, you'll get a roommate eventually, Callie. And now it's very subtle, but some books just appeared on the bookshelf as she moved in. And by the end of the year, the bookshelf will be full.
So subtle outfit change.
There's lots of subtle
She
things
took
here.
off her coat and new room.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but you noticed the glows around the characters, that's their magic. When you chose Earth, it went from solid blue to blue and a green, like switching back and forth.
Yeah, there's a little tint. Yeah, there's a little tint near at the top of her head.
It wibbles, so sometimes you'll see more green, sometimes less green. But, yeah. There's a lot of very subtle things in the game that I don't think a lot of people are going to notice, but I thought were really cool.
So you can use this here.
You can use arrow keys to move too, or just click. That really works.
It's funny I'm avoiding school in this game. Yeah, the greenhouse.
That's what Mira wants to do.
Yeah.
Everyone likes the greenhouse.
Everyone likes the greenhouse. There's
You can't go there, it's locked.
It's not unlocked yet. You have to unlock.
He's like, I don't wanna! Look at the skulls! This is not your normal classroom, there's skulls in there, Chase.
I really appreciate this background. I think this is one of the first ones, one of the earlier ones.
This was the first one. Yeah, this was the first.
Yeah, I think this really helped to like set the design and mood of the entire castle. Really, I love where you went with it.
Yeah, because that one I really enjoy because the little orrery at the side, it glows. Yeah.
The library is very important.
Oh, we don't have a background for
There's
it.
no background.
Is that in my future?
You can see the library at the end of the corridor, see? There's books in there. Next to the corridor.
We use the corridor. It might be in your future, Laura. It might have to happen.
Yep.
But we know
Honestly.
now how good you are at drawing books, so.
But what if you had to draw an entire library of books? Could you come up with enough titles for them all?
Go ahead. We'll put. Honestly, we should put a doc for everybody, like even on our on the group Discord for like everyone who's not the fan Discord. What the heck do we call it? Oh no, the community Discord. We should just get a channel for like put in like book names.
Put it in game. That no, you won't be able to read it, but it'll be there.
Excellent.
Characters. Mini plague. He's supposed to be like a mini plague.
So shout out to Toriaki, who
didn't make it
designed the characters for us. He is amazing at character design. That was completely her idea, and as you can see, it moves around. It has a few different poses.
And there's a reason why she has a mini plague.
Yeah.
I honestly just like I still think we should just get like a little plush of it, a little mini plush plague.
That'd be awesome.
But if it was big enough that I could like sleep on it, you know, that wouldn't be bad.
Sleeping on a plague, you know.
Yeah.
Also, now that I'm actually in the middle of writing his year, I gave the little the mini plague is called Min. Yeah.
Oh.
For Min. But Freya calls it Min.
So they're called Mivets. That's like what their race is, or their they type. But the Mivet's name was Benny. I think is what you read. There. One thing that's interesting, that's relatively new, You might notice that her wing and ear are now like translucent red at the tips. So a while ago she got like an injury, and we thought like we were redesigning Dare, it might be cool to have it be a very obvious visual injury that you're constantly wondering about until it's finally revealed. But yeah. Very intense.
Very serious.
Some Mivit helpers, right? This is like, I'm fine. I'm not gonna help you with the laundry then. I wasn't planning on it anyway.
Listen, if I had a bunch of mice men in my house able to do my chores, I wouldn't say a damn thing.
Neither.
Yeah. It's mostly cheese, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I mean, he takes it as a joke. That was like the opening ceremony. So they're eating food, and then Dare like has her speech. And she ended the speech saying like, how important it is to learn magic. And Hilda's like, without magic, we're all doomed.
Callie's like, oh, that must have been a joke, but it wasn't funny. Like
It's not funny,
It
but
wasn't a good joke.
I think like Hilda's expression doesn't look very humorous. She's actually serious.
But yeah, she's not really joking. Callie just can't imagine a, idea of the protectors not protecting. This time.
Oh, I think you've seen this scene before, Chase. The video I sent to you. You put it in your video music, dude.
Like the color, like coordination of that random witch in the background. The green and the brown.
Well, Chase will have that witch throughout his entire game, but they're random, so who knows? You might never get a witch that coordinated when you play.
Yeah, there's some randomization.
Just the background characters.
An interesting thing is that one iteration of this game was much more randomized. The events were much more randomized. And it was interesting, but we ultimately decided to move away from that design in favor of a more story-based approach.
All of the witches were more or less randomized originally, and that's why we have the random witches, and we decided might as well use them. And,
I think the designed characters and the designed storyline kind of pulls you in a lot more.
you get a lot more invested, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I might have, like, you beat the game or maybe before, like a mode where you can have just battle with random characters just to play the battle system.
How do you say this professor's name? Yeah, that was the question. I think it's probably just your little bit of an accent because it's more like you're stressing the first syllable, which is fine because I say it Mia, which is a little bit different, but. Yeah. I was just curious. There's no wrong way, I was just curious. Reference to water. So it's like in another magic school, you can earn points for your element.
Oh, that was a random witch. And the random witch's elements are randomized too, so you have no clue who's going to get +5 points there. Until you see who your 3 randoms are. Actually, there are 5 randoms. Different classes have different 3 randoms. Actually, the random witches was a more recent addition. Originally, it was just the main characters in the classrooms, but now it felt too empty. So we added in randoms from our previous system.
It's Freya. I'm like very emotionally invested in Freya right now since I'm writing her year.
Cursed high!
Yeah. Thank you.
There's the tab at the top is Freya's tab.
And you can click on her little face.
We don't have the text page, just her stats.
I'm glad you enjoyed her.
Listen, yeah, it's run war in my brain forever now. Yeah, we can really call it back.
Yeah,
Like a Corvid.
Here come all the peeps.
Oh, you can introduce him.
Our teachers like that. First day class is
Very into it.
this is like I don't have to attend classes. I'm gonna leave and come back for exams.
Yep. And
The staff. It's kind of blocked by Callie right now.
I'll better whack to it.
oh, jeez.
Callie doesn't.
Topsy with the ruler, not a staff.
Her first time trying to sense magic. Which is actually a spell you can use.
Being insulted here, Chase.
It's good, David.
He was calling me the brightest. That means I'm good, right?
Getting kicked out on your first day, huh?
That's an achievement, right?
That's it. That would be an achievement, yeah.
You're... If you were waterproof,
Yeah, Penelope is.
the funny thing though is if you're a water group, which is her house, she'd be really upset with you.
She gets really mad.
Or if you're any other house, she's like really happy. If you're at her house, she's like, what have you done?
You have to study.
Before you actually had like a lot more classes to choose from, it was kind of overwhelming. So you cut it down to two different elements. First you choose your like spell class, and later optionally you can study your like electives. And so there's one projection with a J and one protection with a G. Kind of, they're almost exactly the same, just one letter off. I think there are two main offensive. One ten. One roughly. If you want sense, like you're trying to teach you want telepathy. Now is our first navigation. Now you get to explore the entire castle at your leisure. You can see who's where, and every room has different actions.
Not yet. Well.
That's what water witches learn later. You have to get the spell for it first, though. It's cool to see what you might be able to do later, and you can like plan ahead what things you want to grow in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
You can't click on it because you don't have a familiar.
You can see what ingredients you might need, and if
I
you
could
go-
grade out until you have cultivation.
But if you go to the greenhouse,
You
then...
can't plant until you have cultivation, so I might just
Oh, yeah,
grade
yeah.
out until you have cultivation.
Yeah, true. I think that's everything.
And you see the icons above each room, that gives you an idea of what you can do in each room. So like, the magnifying glasses means you can investigate there. You're gonna have to find a way to sneak in there when she's not around. You can talk to people. You can study. Rise release familiar should be grayed out too, because you don't have a familiar. It changes based on what room you're in. It takes time for it to change. So I think it's because you're near an office. It's like the more mysterious track for her. Well, remember you were talking about this yesterday. Originally, this track was like the everything track, not the navigation track. And there were specific choices you had those alternate versions for. And then I was like, this would make more sense as the navigation track. I was like, well, what should I do with these alternates? I want those alternates in there. They're my favorite part of the song. There's not like those specific choices anymore because the game's changed so much. And I was like, got this. I'm going to make them for like different rooms. Like my favorite one for Dare. And not every room has an alternate. There's only like 3 alternates, I think, right? Don't forget the dungeon, the arena. Those 2. I think the arena has a separate one. Well, you can investigate here, yeah.
They should totally talk to, yeah.
Penelope.
That's very cool.
Yeah, the investigations has its own track.
Yeah. Investigating.
You failed!
Oops, you failed.
Ah!
Well, that was a check. It just kind of checked what your history of knowledge.
History of world knowledge.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Still, because you did the investigation, it'll help you in the future, even though you failed the check, which would have, better, obviously, but it's not the end of the world. Really, you should be talking to people. Penelope.
I don't talk to Penelope. Why would you talk to Penelope?
I'm gonna choose one. You're doing it!
No!
I told you to do it, and now he told you not to do it, and you listened to me, and now you get to see what happens.
After that, you should. If you talk to people, you might be able.
If you talk to Hilda,
get people to go battle with you.
Hilda's very lovely. She loves battles. She'll go from the battle with you. Because if she becomes your ally, she needs hearts too. Kind of going through like how you. I think we're going till 5:30, right?
Okay.
The feature ended. We're down to 13 watchers. So I guess it's weird because in the team playthrough event it says it was going to be an hour and a half, but the team featured it for an hour. But to you guys, if you want to stop here, go to 5:30.
I'm good either way.
Maybe before we end, we can talk a little bit about things that players will see the game post-demo content. They I should expect.
You got your ally.
Hey!
Now you can battle if you want. This is like, now that I've gotten into talking to people, I want to talk to everyone. If you're done exploring, you can just end the navigation. Done exploring bottom on the bottom right. You have one time interval left, but you don't have to use it. Got an ally at least. It's not bad.
I've seen this scene too.
Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, see, he recognizes this one. Wouldn't you like to be in this class? The teacher who has slime all over the walls and is coming up with crazy inventions? The original version, that was like a running joke throughout the entire game where she would like experiment on the students and like people would get injured and like she was never succeeding at it.
It's still kind of that. But it's a little more serious now.
Battle demonstration. Runaway is like the end tutorial thing, but it shows you the basic spells that you learn in first year. Once you sense them, you get to see all their stats, and you also get to see like a preview of how much damage you'll deal. If you do one strike, it'll break a barrier and do nothing, but if you increase the number of hits, see, it'll two barriers and then it starts to deal damage, and eventually it's full white, which means it's going to kill it. Unless you get some crits, this won't kill it, it'll have like a little left, yeah.
Originally, David came up with all the names for these creatures, and this was he called this boar frog. And
I'm trying when you're done.
I was like, yes.
I'm very literal with my naming, okay?
It's the programmer in you.
You know, I think I came up with Razorbeak. That one stayed.
That one's
Scorpion Drake. That was one of my literal ones too. It's a Scorpion Drake. It's exactly what it is.
some of them to be fine.
Once you know elemental barriers, like the battles really start to open up, because you can recover almost all the mana, or maybe even more than the mana you put into those barriers when they attack you. If you know the element's going to attack with, and you cast the barrier and it does hit the barrier, doesn't miss, you can basically block for free. And so you can set up a tank who can, if you have an air mage, and this is why air magic isn't that useful until later, they can become like your tank. They can redirect all the attacks to themselves or to whoever your tank is, who can block all the damage. And so you can basically like block out enemies unless they have special abilities.
There's one thing. Either
The battle system definitely evolves once you get to tier 2 spells, and One of my favorite spells are tier 4, which you don't get until very late. But basics, attacking, defending, and pacting are all tier 1 spells that you can do even in year 1.
It definitely opens up as you get further past year 1. Here, Clear gives you like a little taste of that since she's basically kind of playing as a professor here.
She only has tier 1 and a few, sometimes tier 2 spells. She's mainly focusing on the spells you're going to learn soon. We have a Nubgruff. Very happy to see you.
So the question is, can you ride it?
I mean, they do jump. Since it broke the enemy's barrier, it actually missed. Oh well. Still useful.
There's Broom riding. If there's not Nubgruff riding.
You know, I'll take broom riding.
Can you pet them? Question.
It's not like the tutorial kind of ends where you kind of try to defeat it on your own, or just run away if you're tired of it. If you remembered previous parts, it should be pretty easy to defeat it. What's a second Nubgruff? All the Nubgruffs for Chase. So close. Green bar, which is very like all underneath the mana, shows you how close it is to accepting the pack. Looks like it's licking her hair. This is why like investing in paintings was potentially useful, because one of the paintings was actually important, and you're about to see it again this event.
9 rounds.
You know what all 9 realms are? Because I only know what like 3 or 4 are. I was like, don't ask me that question, I'm not going to answer. She doesn't know. This sounds cool to say in the 9 realms.
It's a magic.
There's the normal realm. There's the Shadow Realm, or the Fey Realm, where the Fey come from. And one of like the biggest problems was how it kind of opened the travel between the two. And the Fey in for power, but then the Fey kind of revolted. Then there's the like Spirit World, kind of where ghosts are, Spirit Realm. And then we know there's at least one realm where the old magic creatures come from, but we never really decided the other realms in detail.
There's so many worlds you can write. Hey, nighttime backgrounds.
It was interesting you brought up reality at the beginning, because at one point we actually decided that reality takes place in the same universe as this. And it's much further into the future. The Shadow Realm, the Fey Realm, is where you travel to. It's Vitalia. Could we talk a little bit about things in the future of the game you said you wanted?
Yeah, we did a bit. The battle system. If anyone's curious, we have lots of plans, our story, a lot more.
So you got that partial success, even though it would have been a failure if you hadn't investigated at all. It would have been a success if you passed that check. However bad Ria is right now, it could have been worse if you hadn't even bothered investigating. Continue.
Yeah, so as we were saying earlier, the spell system really opens up past the demo. There's just basically 7 times the story. It's a pretty extensive storyline. As we mentioned, there's 4 different perspective characters. So in the demo, you're only seeing Callie's perspective, but there's these 3 other really amazing characters as well who you get to kind of delve into things. Yeah, I wanted each year to really feel very fresh and new. So there's something very surprising and new whenever you change perspectives. Which I always love, you know, as a reader or gamer. Yay! You got the dungeon!
Oh boy!
Yeah. So yeah, there's the other character perspectives, which is really fun. And speaking of characters, there will be romantic options. It's not going to be like huge, it's not, you know, a dating sim, but there will be several, you know, kind of thoroughly explored love stories with these characters. If anyone's into that. But I would like to note, that's optional. That's not like you have to pursue romance. And enchanting.
I always love the giant hat she has. It's just the best statement piece you could ever want.
Thank you. That was kind of inspired by a developer friend of ours who would always say for witch hats, you know, the bigger the better. I was like trying to challenge that, saying, how big are we talking here? No. The character's actually named after that friend of ours as well. Shout out to Tana. Good point. Is there anything you wanted to add to, you know, how things will open up demo?
There will be more areas, and like the world kind of expands too.
That's true.
And like the overarching story, and the that was the strategized option I was talking about. We can kind of choose what she's going to focus on. And I already talked about how like the magic system, the battle system expands. So it's just at the end, all of the like mysteries, and every year has its own mystery, which is interesting. At the end, they all come together for like a very dramatic conclusion. And because it's 7 years and 4 perspective characters, everyone gets 2 years except for Freya, who only gets 1. So like, not only will you have them as allied, but you get to have them in another year once they've gained some more spells.
One thing we definitely wanted to focus on was the character development. Like, this first year with Callie is all like, oh, everything's new and I'm a little uncomfortable. And then when you get Callie again, it's like, it's the same character, but it's such a different experience because she's totally come into her own as a witch.
And there's an older Callie sprite. So all the people have like a more grown-up version for years 4 through 7. Remember Natalie was complaining about having to do that. She hasn't even done that yet.
we can expect a lot of like really intense story coming into this, as well as just like the whole strategy. So I'm really excited to see how this all comes together again. Ah, the nighttime version.
Sorry about that. My internet totally just like crashed. I had to restart the router.
No worries.
What did I miss? Oh, we went through all of April already.
Yeah, we've been kind of chugging along here. We got caught, so.
Chase is trying to light the dungeons, but he doesn't have any spells. He's just.
Answer light.
There are actually 4 ways to light the dungeon. Those are the most obvious ways, but Chase has none of them right now. I wonder if you just like threw enough bursts of magic around, if like maybe a torch would ignite or like the whole school would burn down. That would light things up, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. If you could see the torch, maybe you could light the torch. But if you could see the torch, you wouldn't need to light the torch.
Good man.
But you got some mystery magic knowledge, and maybe next time it won't fail.
No worries. Let's wrap. Yeah. Yeah. Let's wrap this
Yeah,
up.
no.
I think
No,
we did
Yeah,
awesome.
we did good. I think, I mean, the feature on Steam is already over, and I think we talked about pretty much everything. Well, I guess before we end, is there anything else you want to talk about before it closes out and goes to sleep, or should we just end it there?
Just wondering, like, when can people expect to have this out and ready to play?
We haven't announced an official date, but we're thinking fall of next year.
All right. No, I got nothing else beyond that.
Yeah, because nice to have it for like Halloween in October. And
Yeah.
originally it was supposed to be earlier, but Allie's still in year 3, so.
Hoping for September. But we'll see. September of next year. A special month.
Yep.
And
But anyway, well, thank you everybody for joining us, and it was awesome, Chase and Natalie and David, just to play through with it. So.
yeah, thank you to Laura and Chase. Thank you for playing. That was awesome. It was really cool to see you interacting with the game and just making choices and everything. So thank you both so
Yeah, Sleepy
much.
chased it pretty well.